Assalamu alaikum. I just finished a lesson on my other phone regarding Ibn Taymiyyah and the jinn and his usage of the jinn. I'm not so sure I've recovered from it because a lot of it I believe is incorrect, even though it came from the Kitab of Tawheed. So I said, I'm going to return to the Quran where everything is correct, everything is clear, there's nothing difficult in this book. So I'm going to do 3 lessons in a row for you because I was negligent of you the past few days. So now I'm going to make it up, and inshallah you'll agree with me that there's nothing like the Quran, nothing better, nothing more worth your time. Now I'm currently reviewing, as I always do, Surat Baqarah. And I'll give you 3 passages from it that particularly I feel are useful for you now, as we're all living in times of uncertainty, which all our times are of uncertainty. Why would we describe it otherwise? How can you be certain of anything when Allah hasn't done it yet? Well, yes, you can. You can be certain of Allah's mercy if you trust Him and you obey what you already know. You can be certain of His rahmah, and then you should just istaslim and submit to what you already have learned. And hopefully you've learned something by now with all these lessons. I think there's about 600 of them now. You can go back and refresh as though you don't have enough to do with everything going on right now in your life. But I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to read the verse. I'm not going to translate it from the translated Quran. I'm just going to read each verse and then translate it, and then do my comments. Make it a little bit easier and flow more precisely. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولله المشرق والمغرب فأينما تولوا فثم وجه الله إن الله واسع عليم. This verse is saying that to Allah, for Allah, is the rising sun and the setting sun, meaning He controls it. So wherever you turn, you will find Allah's face. Now this has to do with, the Kaaba being a cube shape, and wherever you turn, you're on one side of the cube, and scientifically it is true, and it might seem a little difficult to comprehend, but Allah says, whichever way you turn, you're facing His face, meaning you're doing the right thing in obedience to Him. Wajhullah, that's what wajhullah means. It doesn't mean He has a face like we have, but we are told to turn to the Kaaba, which is a cube-like structure. And then Allah says that He is wasiun alim. He's wide in knowledge, encompassing everything. وَقَالُوا اتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ وَلَدًا سُبْحَانَهُ بَل لَّهُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ كُلٌّ لَّهُ قَانِتُونَ. How many times does Allah say that He doesn't have a son? And they're continually saying He does have a son. Subhanahu. Allah is so far removed from that. He controls and owns everything in the earth and skies. And everyone is required to be in His regard. You can say, Qanitun, be good, be in awe of Him, be in obedience to Him, if you know what's good for you. بديع السماوات والأرض وإذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن فيكون. This is such I almost wanted to say it's such a loaded subject. I guess it's okay to say it like that. Allah is the originator of the skies and the earth. And when he decrees anything, with a qada amram, qada, qaf, da, qada, like qada wa qadar, qaf, dad, ya, qada. When he decrees what? An amra, any affair. فإنما يقول له كن فيكون. You should know to say that this is going to happen. كن فيكون. وقال الذين لا يعلمون. Those who don't know say, لولا يكلمنا الله. If it weren't for Allah to speak to us, أو تأتينا آية, or come with a sign to us. كذلك قال الذين من قبلهم. They said this before. Actually, someone has said this to me in real life. Well, I didn't get my own sign. I don't want that book. Bring me another book. Likewise said those who came before. كذلك قال الذين من قبلهم مثل قولهم تشابهت قلوبهم. Their hearts are all over the place, but they resemble each other because these types of disbelievers resemble each other. They refuse, they will argue, they will demand ridiculous things. قد بينا الآيات لقوم يوقنون. But Allah says His verses are clear to the good people. لقوم يوقنون. إنا أرسلناك بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا. Allah says, we sent you in truth, giving good news and warning. ولا تسألوا عن أصحاب الجحيم. You will not be questioned about those who are in the fire. So why spend too much time on them? Why even bother? You shouldn't, and this is something that's important, which is why I chose this. It's only a half of a page, but that last part, and if when we go to the next lesson, it's going to be similar to this. Why are we focused so much on Allah's creation when He has already told you that He created it and He will deal with it? Yubdi wa yu'id. He began this creation and He will return it as He will, when He will. It's a good comment for women who are waiting to get pregnant and they haven't gotten pregnant, and they are spending thousands of American dollars, whatever, on this in vitro fertilization and all treatments which they're assuming are going to help them get pregnant. Now, this was never done in the past. This is something new in my generation, that they decided to share in creation or interfere in creation, to the point now where, I'm sorry if this is offensive, but it goes along with this lesson. I told you, I'll read the Quran, I'll translate, and then I will comment. Take a deep breath. What's going on now? It's damage in interfering in creation. I'm just going to relay. I won't tell you the YouTube channel. I won't tell you the names. I won't give you any details. You're going to have to trust me on this one, because this is a travesty. It's satanic. What has recently occurred is a very religious family had many children. I won't tell you the religion, but they had many children. I don't want to slander anyone. I'm just telling you the circumstances around what I'm describing. One of the sons, they all said they knew that he was gay when he was a little boy because he acted whatever. I don't even want to describe it because, don't go there with me. A lot of little boys are not violent. They're quiet. They're not rambunctious. They tend to be sedate. That doesn't mean they're gay. Anyway, so this young man accepted his descriptive of himself because he was happy with it, that he was gay, and then he got a boyfriend, and then he married his boyfriend. And then they lived together, and they felt their life was incomplete without a child. So instead of going and adopting a child from the orphanage, which is very easy to do now, you can do this without any red tape, as probably easier than a white heterosexual couple could do it. Anyway, these two fellows are white, and they're in their 20s, and they decided that it would be a better idea for them to allow one of their sisters, blood sisters, to carry a fertilized, I don't know the words, I'm not good in science, but they can do things with the egg and the sperm, and then they can make it a fertilized, I think the word is ovum. It's an Latin word that they use. Anyway, you can impregnate, they call it a carrier, or sometimes she's called a surrogate, because she does have a womb. She's a woman. Well, she's the sister of one of our gay couple, his sister. And she said, I always felt very close to my brother throughout the years, and even when he came out as gay, I loved him. I'm just so close to him. I love him so much. So if there's anything that I can do for him, I'm going to do it. So they made an agreement with the doctor in America, medical doctor, that he would take care of this issue and he would bring forth a beautiful child. And he did. Now, I don't want to go through the gory details, but she was very young and beautiful and strong, and she carried this child in her womb, and she delivered this child normally. And the child was given, of course, to her brother, because her blood brother is the one that asked her to do it, and she was close to him, and she agreed. And the child was a girl, and he was very happy. But now, the other spouse wanted a child too. Now, let's just say he got his boy. The first child was born a girl, and the second child was born a boy. But they both are allowed to call the adult male daddy. There was a book written maybe 20 years ago called My Two Daddies. And it had a picture of a bed on the cover and a couple of men sitting on the bed, like sitting up on the bed with their legs hanging down. Well, we've come a far cry from that now, because now, I'm just giving you a heads up because I'm going to drop this subject when I go on to the next page. Now we have my four daddies. I am not promoting anything about this subject so that they would get hits. Don't even look it up. I'm just saying to you what I'm aware of because I follow all these things. I follow everything that I can remark on as a Muslim. So now there's a family of 4 daddies, proud fathers of many children. Allah says, Huwa yabdul khalq thumma yu'idu. He originates creation and then he repeats it. I don't think this is what he meant. I think he meant Baqarah laysa kal untha, because in the Quran he says the male is not like the female. Then he says that he's Malik al-Mulk, that he is the possessor of everything that can be possessed in creation. And then he says he created azwajun lakum, he created your spouses, after he has already told you that the male is not like the female. Now, I'm going to close on this because it bothers me, and it almost gives me, I don't want to say depression, because this is ilm. This is knowledge that Allah has given me knowledge to read Arabic, and Allah has given me the ability to research and read quickly and digest things easily. And as I told you, I don't do numbers and I can't do anything regarding math and science. I'm just really deficient in those things. But in anything regarding the other side of the brain, they call it, I don't know. I feel a duty to you. And if anybody wants to criticize me about rejecting LGBTQ, go right ahead. And then I will turn you over to my YouTube channel, and you can scroll through the 7 lessons that I have used 7 different surah and places in the Quran to prove to you that this is not only hated, it's not allowed if you're a Muslim. Well, I'm a Muslim. So y'all coming forward in such strength that you're increasing. And Allah has already told me in Surah Ahzab that you're the enemy. Surah Ahzab, meaning the Confederate parties who gang together against Prophet Muhammad, are your enemy. It's in Surah Ahzab. Qawm Lut wa ashab al-Aiqa hum al-Ahzab. What can we do about this? All we can do is concentrate on ourselves, what we're supposed to do, learn our own religion, and make dawah. And gently, it's always supposed to be gently, because Prophet Muhammad was very gentle. But I leave you with my 18 minutes. I'll have enough for this. I always say, follow the sunnah. Be gentle. But Allah says, warn them. Here's my warning. You don't have to do it. Be a Muslim, that is. You don't have to like it. Everyone's free, right? But don't try to stop it. Or what? Or you will face the punishment from the Almighty Allah, who sees, hears, and knows everything. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.